Have you ever met someone who had the coolest, I guess, business idea and just went with it and then it so worked out? Well, I was fortunate enough to meet her. Her name is Brittany and she owns Be Creative. I'm not pointing at her chest, but I'm pointing at her sick shirt that she decided to wear. Thank you so much for promoting yourself because I love that.
Thanks.
So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your business? You can, whatever you want to say, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Brittany, and I own Be Creative. What started out as basically a hobby at home soon became this business that it is now. We make custom products anywhere from shirts, hoodies, sweaters, jackets, hats to drinkware. So your mugs, tumblers, wine glasses, anything like that. We go stickers, decals. Like, it's probably easier for me to say what we don't do, but we do pretty much a little bit of everything.
And this is actually a fun fact. I just realized this tonight. So Sarah Grant, sorry, I'm calling you out. She made me this sign, and then Brittany said, "Did Sarah make that for you?" I said, "Yeah, actually she did. But you made the." I'm sorry, what was the word that you?
DTF, so direct to film.
Yes, she made the print for it. And I was like, oh, it came full circle. That's great. She's like, yeah, it was helping, like telling her, I'm like, oh, okay, I love this. So yes. And if you're comfortable, but you don't have to, would you like to tell everybody why you started doing it?
Yeah. So in 2022, my best friend actually had a Cricut, and she was showing me all kinds of stuff that she could do on it. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So naturally I got one and it sat in the box for like ever before I was confident enough to open it up and start using it.
Really?
Yeah, it collected dust forever. And my nephew, who plays competitive baseball, was going to tournaments and stuff, and what better way to support him than put his name and his number on the back of a shirt. So I brought the Cricut out and got to pressing, and they turned out really good, and I really enjoy doing it and creating something, being like, wow, I made that. So I started trying out different things and explored and different products and stuff. So when it came time, my husband wanted to go to trade school. He's a heavy duty mechanic, and we were like, okay, like, how are we going to make this work? Like, I have a full-time job and he's got to take the layoff to go to school for 2 months. So how can we make some extra cash? And I'm like, all right, well, the Cricut's sitting there, like, we'll use it. So like, I'll start making some stuff. I'll try to sell it on Marketplace, see what we can do. So I did that. And then I was kind of like, why don't I just make a Facebook page? And then I can just share the page, share the products, let everybody know what we're doing, and try to make some extra income. So it worked out, and I enjoyed it so much. So when he went back to work, I was like, well, I think I'll keep doing it. So we started there and continued on.
Isn't that great? This is just like more like a personal thing, but were you nervous when you made your Facebook page? Because when I first made mine, I was like, oh my goodness, like, there's going to be like no one that likes this page or like comments on anything. And
I was terrified because I was like, there's like I mentioned to you before, there's no shortage of people in Fort McMurray that make t-shirts and make cups. And I was like, I'm just going to be another group and another person that, does this. Like, how am I going to make this work? But it was easier than handling it all through my personal Facebook and getting like all these message requests.
Yeah, that's fair. Yes.
So I was like, but my husband being my biggest supporter, he's like, do it, just do it. What's going to happen? So I did, and it kind of took off. Like, I mean, mind you, it was like my mom and
that's
sharing all my posts and hearting all my posts and saying, oh, I need this sweater. And she was so great, like sharing and commenting and stuff that, and of course the way the algorithm works is like, the more people comment on it, the more it shows up in places, right? So everything I posted, she was like, oh, great job. Like, I love this. And she would share it. And I'm like, getting it out there. So
now my mom's gonna see this and she'll be like taking notes, like, okay, commenting on all of Kyla's posts. I did tell you she actually shared one of my videos the other day. So thanks, Mom. That actually like meant a lot. But yeah, when I first started mine, I was like, this is so scary. But it was actually a girl. She helps me with my giveaways every month. Her name's Caitlin. She's like, just do it. And I was like, I don't know. She's like, just start it. So I did, and yeah.
Yeah, it's especially having the family to back you up too, and the friends and
Yes.
support. Like I couldn't be more grateful to the people I have in my corner that have made this business what it is today. Like I could not have done it without them.
Do you ever advertise on the Girl Gang?
Yeah, so when they do Small Business
Yes.
Saturday, I think I post. I think there's like 3 groups that do it now. So there's like the 2 Girl Gang pages and a mommy network. So
Oh, do you?
I just mass share it everywhere every Saturday.
Oh, well.
Yeah, so just get it out there.
Do you think you'd ever quit your job to do it?
Um, Maybe not. Uh, Eventually, maybe, but like I'm comfortable where I am. I've been at my job for almost 9 years now, and I love what I do there. So it's maybe like a futuristic thing down the line, because eventually I would like to have like my own line of clothing that I do myself, my own brand.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like I've even talked to my son about it, who's really artistic, and I'm like, why don't you create something for me, and like we'll start a line, and I'll make it, and we'll sell it as our own product. And so eventually, I'd like to get there where I have that, and I have my own storefront. That's the goal, because I didn't initially have any goals. It was like,
oh my gosh,
just to get by.
Yes.
Right? So I didn't have any goals, and then it just kept growing and growing, and we won a community votes award, and I'm like, I didn't even know I was nominated for the longest time. And I won it on the category, and I was like, this is incredible, and it was such a good feeling. So like I just started making more goals and ambitions for myself in the business. And yeah.
Oh my gosh, you know how much? So she actually didn't. She told me some stuff before, but you didn't tell me all this. Oh my gosh, I love this.
Yeah, it just it's pride. I'm super proud of where we started and how far we've come.
You should be, because when she first told me, oh, my husband will go to school, and I started for that. So just for people that are watching, I actually didn't know her before tonight, which is what I do with a lot of my guests. So I don't want to say vet, because that's a very serious word to use, but yeah, I do creep them a little bit on Facebook. Or my family will do it for me. But I looked at her page, and I told my mom today that my mom's like, do you know her? I said, no. Said she commented on Mariah's podcast, and I looked at her page, and it looked cool. I liked what she had going on, so I just asked her to be on, and my mom's like, oh, okay. And then I met you, and I was like, oh yeah, I was totally right about her, because you're like so easy to talk to, and you're telling me all this, and you're so humble too, so I love that.
Yeah, I'm glad to know that like my personality comes through on my Facebook page. I appreciate that, because that's like one thing like I'm like really serious about is staying like authentic and
oh
true.
Yeah,
like so
100%.
Knowing that my personality comes out on it, that's great.
Yeah, because that's like why I asked you. So I saw again that you commented, and I looked, and I was like, oh, this girl is so cool. And then I was like, she seems like she's really kind. And then you can share the story if you want. You tell me what you did for the animal rescue.
Yeah, so in the very beginning, when my husband went back to work after his first term of school, the Buffalo Animal Rescue Committee had a fundraiser going, and I was like, well, if I can do something, like why not? So I fostered 7 dogs for them, and
oh my,
yeah, 7.
She didn't mention that.
And the funniest thing is the third one I fostered was my foster fail, so it was 4 other dogs after that. So I had my
What's a foster fail?
I ended up keeping him.
Oh, okay. So this sounds so negative, but when you say like that doesn't sound bad at all.
No,
like
we fostered him, and the foster failed, so you end up adopting.
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So we had him, and I fostered 3 more after that, and it just got to be a lot. So I was like, I got to take a step back, but I still really wanted to support them and help them because they're so close to my heart.
Yes.
I decided I was going to do a t-shirt fundraiser, and I was selling rescue dog themed shirts, and the proceeds to it were going to go to the rescue committee. And this was like really early stages of Be Creative, like very early. I didn't have much of a following, but I ended up raising just over $400 for the rescue committee, and that felt so good. So I was like, if I sell 20 shirts or I sell 10, at least this is a platform where I can do stuff like this. Like I can make donations, I can help fundraise, I can help different areas that need it. So
That's so kind.
Yeah.
It's like such a kind thing that you did for them. And I told her Ray always loves the animals. So, and
Yeah.
now that you're even bigger, if you did something like that again, you'd probably raise like $1 million. But
Yeah, so for Orange Shirt Day, when I do the orange shirts for Truth and Reconciliation, my proceeds every year go to the Destayu Friendship Association Center.
All of them?
Yeah, I've done it for the last. This was my 3rd year. When I make the orange shirts, I take the proceeds from it and donate it back to them. Just because I just feel like it's not something that I should be profiting off of, right? So, and this year I was super excited because I actually had an Indigenous artist, 2 of them actually, Shay and Kelly, create designs for me, and I got to use that and put their art on shirts, and that's what I sold for the Truth and Reconciliation. And it just, like, this year was the biggest donation I've done. It was so good, and so felt so good to be able to do that and promote them.
So did you reach out to the artist, or did they reach out to you?
I reached out to them. Well, I initially made a post looking for Indigenous artists, and it was funny because Shay didn't even really like promote herself. She was mentioning other people, and I was like, "You're an artist," and I actually went to school with her, and like, she's always been such a sweet, humble person, and like so artistically inclined. Like I was like, I know you can do this. And she's actually like a physical artist. Like she paints and draws. And I had actually asked her, like, we can do your drawing or your painting and put that on a shirt. That's no problem. I can make that work. I was like, if you could do something digital. And she actually took the time to learn how to make her art digital to do this. And I was like, this is incredible. And she did such a good job. And then everybody loved it. And Kelly came to me with a really great heartfelt story, like her history and what her family has had to go through. And it was just like, I love this, like using this platform to spread your message and like your story. Like that's what this is about. Like that's what it's become for me, is if I can do something like that, then it's a good feeling. It really is.
Gosh. And don't you like, well, I'm fairly new, but I just like, it makes me feel so good too when you like partner with people.
Yes.
And then you're like doing stuff. Like it's like, those are the times, I can't speak for you, but those are the times like when I partner with people, it's like, okay, this is actually something. Like, it's not so much the milestones, like, well, I'm a podcast, so I go by people that watch it, but it's not even by the amount of people like that are viewing or liking. It's when people come to me and they're like, I want to do this with you, or like, I'd like to be on your podcast to talk about this. And to me, that's like means so much more than when people are watching it. I'm like, really, like my heart is so touched.
Yeah, like, I was like shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, she wants me to come on her show.
Yeah.
I was like, me?
Really?
Yeah.
Because I'd already told you, just like look that you do so well. So I was actually really nervous to ask you. And then we had that glitch when I couldn't message you on your page. And then I saw your name and I'm like, is this the same person? And then I finally figured it out. I was like, okay, Kyla, put your big girl pants on. You're just going to be like, are you part of Be Creative? And then you said you were. So I was like, okay, good. So yeah, and I was really happy that you said you come on, because my intuition was right. She's a really good person. She got a good heart. She's very kind.
Well, thank you.
Like just getting that from looking at your page. And I think it was like a lot of your logo too. I don't know. It just like, I don't know what it is. It's so homey.
I want it to be really simple and not flashy about it. I bet it's so funny because I just changed my business page logo to like a more Christmassy version of it.
Right. Yes.
So when I was uploading it, I kind of like went back and looked at my very first one and I was like, wow. What was I thinking with that design? It's really humbling to see like how far I've come with it. I'm like, wow, like I should just remove that entirely.
Now I'd be like going to look for like, oh, which one is that? But I'm sure if I look at it, I'm not artistic.
Oh, you'll know. You will see it.
Are you sure? Yeah. I'm literally not artistic at all. So I'm probably like, this is so good. I could never do this. So you're look at it, I'll be like, this is great. And then you'll be like, no.
It's again one of those things that's like been so great about this is like the learning curve of getting into doing my own designs, because like it's easy to go find a design online and print it and do it, but I've really enjoyed kind of getting in, like putting the creative and be
Yes.
creative and making my own stuff and designing my own things and getting it out there. Like, you know, when somebody comes to me with their quest and they're like, this is what I'm envisioning and this is like how I want it to look. And I'm like, okay. And then I'll do what I can to do it myself.
Okay, so I actually call this my ignorance, but I didn't know that you did that. That people came with you with like kind of a vision and then you made it.
Yeah, I've had people come to me with photos of their dogs that passed away, and I'm such a big empath that like I absorb that so much. So like sometimes it's like something that's really difficult to do. But I've had people come to me with pictures of their dog, and they're like, I want them in like angel wings or a halo, or I want them looking like they, you know, are in heaven and stuff like that, and like a memorial piece. So like I'll like take my time and just kind of throw ideas out there, and then I'll send them something and be like, what changes do you want? And we go from there. Like I'll start with a base and like we go from there, and like, not to brag, but 9 times out of 10 they're like, I love it.
No, she is bragging because that's what you got to do. You got to like really like sell yourself. But no, that's so cool because anytime I've ever had anything done, but again, I haven't really asked. I didn't know this was an option. So I'm not like by any means criticizing like any business I've ever gone to. But when I get stuff made, I've always had to bring them like, oh, can you take this exact thing and basically just like put it on a t-shirt? Yeah. So that's so cool that you work with people.
Yeah.
And like make like what they have in their head come true. So I love that.
Yeah. I wanted to be a little bit different, and mind you, there, you know, are there some really great businesses in town that, you know, contribute to that. Like I know my limits. So there's been times where I've actually reached out to Bee and Bear Designs. They do incredible graphic designs, and they've brought my visions to life with some things. So, you know, I have no problem reaching out and getting help where I need it. So they've done really well and helped me. But just like you said, like you've gone somewhere and wanted something and they just kind of give you a cut and paste design.
Yeah.
But that's why I wanted to be a little bit different, because I'm like, I know what it's like to have a vision for something and not being able to get it like exactly how you want it. So I'll work with somebody like back and forth for like 2 or 3 days until we get them where they want their design and stuff. So
okay, so I already take note because that's really cool, and that is actually something I think would set you apart from other, because you did say to a number of times like, oh, you know, like there's so many businesses in town. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you're right, but I don't know. But again, I don't know. So again, no, I'm not criticizing any business, so please don't take it like that because we don't want any pitchforks. But but yeah, it's just like that's something that would set you apart from other businesses, is the fact that you do that. That's actually so cool. I don't think you know. I'm like, this is so cool that you.
I appreciate that.
Because yeah, like that you work with them. Because sometimes even like I'll still pay for it, but even sometimes when I've taken things where they cut and paste, I don't know what happens, but they still mess it up a little bit. But
or like don't capture exactly what you're.
Yeah. Okay. That's you know what? That's a more positive way to look at it. Yes, they don't quite capture it the way, and then I get it, but it's already done, and you can't obviously not pay them because they've still offered the service to you. And when it's a local business, you don't want to be like ripping. I'm never gonna be that person that doesn't.
Yeah.
Because they have put their time and effort into it. But yeah, that's happened before too, where it's like, oh, but or you like want to be excited when they show you, but in your stomach, you're like, no.
It's like when you get your hair cut. And you're like, that's not what I asked for.
But I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, it's already cut off, so you know.
And there's nothing I can do. And then sometimes I've like given it out as a gift, and I like will apologize to the person. They never say anything to me, but I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, this isn't quite what I envisioned. But anyway, so yeah, I love that you have that because that's like so cool.
That's like actually, it's funny you mentioned gifts because we're getting into Christmas right now. So when people come to me with like their ideas or like what they want to give, as a gift, and it's something obviously really meaningful, whether it's a picture of a past loved one or a memorial piece. It's things like that where I'm like, this has got to be perfect, and I'm a perfectionist anyway, so I'm like, if I'm not happy with it, like, you're not getting it.
I know, when I'm looking at your hair, I'm like, your hair is so lovely. My mom came over. No, she came over today, and she knew that you were coming over because we were talking about whatever. And then she's like, "Did you brush your hair?" I was like, "Sorry." She's like, "Me and your sister were watching one of your podcasts one time, and we were like, oh." My sister was like, "Did Kyla forget her brush?" So I'm like, "Well, I guess I'll just brush it again." So like, she was here, and then you came in, and I was like, "Oh, look at your hair, it's so straight, it's so perfect."
Perfect. Yeah, I'm a perfectionist, so
Yeah.
I'm the same way with my designs. So if somebody's like, this is how I want it, this is what it's going on, like, I get every detail that I possibly can, and I really take my time with it. And like I said, if I've got to go back and forth in conversation 2 or 3 days, like, we're gonna get it right before it's done. So I especially with stuff like that.
I think that's why you have such good clientele.
I've heard like a few times now that my customer service is what really sets me apart. And
Well,
I've worked with the customer service, so I kind of.
Oh, yeah, that's what you do. But that's like, so this guy I had on last week, Elliot Pierre, and him and I, and the guy that works in Tanner was here too. And we're talking about too, sometimes when people offer you service, especially when it's locally, um, especially like how you said, like the market is so saturated with people who make the t-shirts. Sometimes you go to that person not because of the price or the product, but it's because you love the person so much that you're like, I love them, I love the way they are, like this is who I want to support them. And yeah, sometimes locally I do that as well, because I'm like, I really love this person, and this is, even if it's a little bit more expensive, I'm like, no, this is a person I want to support, because I actually get I have extensions, and obviously my hair's dyed, but my friend owns a salon in Edmonton, and everybody's always like, why do you drive to Edmonton to get it done? I'm like, no, like I love my hairdresser, like I want to support her. My sister lives there, I can just stay the night, it's not a big deal. So I think from the sound of it, that's probably why you do so well, because you just, and your personality is like on point. Like when I was talking to you, I was like, man, I don't want to talk to this girl all night. Like I'm so comfortable. Just like you just came in, you're like, hi, and then you're just talking to me so normally, and I'm like, okay,
so that's
cool.
So funny, because I told you when you talked about coming on here, I was like, I'm a really shy person.
I know, and I'm like, no, like what?
It's
no,
like one of those things where you vibe with somebody, it's like the conversation comes super easy.
That is true too.
But I totally love that you do that, because I was just about to say, I've had people that have followed me on this journey from the very beginning. So when I was putting vinyl on shirts, to when I was sublimating shirts, and now to where I am with DTF. And they've stuck with me through this whole process, through learning, through everything. And like, I've made so many friends, I've met so many amazing people, had so many amazing conversations. And what more can you ask for with a business? Is like, you're making friends and you're meeting all these incredible people.
And I think as well, just from the sounds of it, but you could disagree with me, I know you did do it because your husband, him and Mariah's husband have like very similar names. So Tyler. Yeah. Sure, because either Tyler or Travis, but he was going back to school. Then you're like, no, I think I'm gonna keep doing this. But it sounds also like you did it because you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think that would make a difference as well, because it's not as cutthroat or like as much pressure, like I have to do this because I need to make money from it. You're just like, I'm just gonna go with the flow and kind of see what happens. I think being easygoing about it probably.
Yeah, not so much pressure and stress to like promote and
sell. Yeah, because I'm like, I know you do promote it, like we did talk about that, but maybe I'm wrong. I could get the wrong vibe, but I don't think you're probably like one of those cutthroat people, or who are like kind of being annoying.
No,
sorry, I'm sorry, guys, but
where your name is just plastered everywhere. I totally get what you mean, because and I understand, like, for some people, like, it's not my bread and butter, but for some people it is, which I can appreciate. Yes. But when it's in your face all the time kind of thing, that's not me. But like I mentioned before, I don't even look at it as competition or being competitive. Like
Which I love.
I absolutely adore all these other businesses, and Alyssa from River Valley Boutique, she's been my mentor basically through this whole experience. And I feel like now, like, I don't need to lean on her as much because like I've spread my wings and I'm taking off on my own. But like in the very beginning, like she has her own business, the exact same business, and she didn't hesitate to answer any of my messages, my questions, everything like that.
Which I love.
Yeah, like it was fantastic. And I initially said to her right away, like, I'm not trying to steal your business. Like, it's not what this is about. Or like, I'm trying to do this because Tyler's in school. And, and she was like, ask me anything you want. Like, it's totally fine. And I was like, I absolutely love that you're, so willing to share your knowledge and help me. And I've met so many other businesses like that along the way that are so open and willing to answering questions.
And I'm like so much about that because, again, I'm always like trying to promote kindness. So I love it that they're there to like build you up.
Yeah.
And not like close you off or like see you as a competition, because it's like we're all just kind of doing our own thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sure like each of the businesses, like you have your thing, how you try to work with the client, but I'm sure they have different things too that kind of set them apart from every other business. So it's like, what are we really in competition for here? Like,
yeah, and it's just being mindful of, everybody's kind of got their areas or things that they're supporting, and you just be mindful of that and be like, okay, you're gonna do this, I'm gonna do this.
Which I love, because you mentioned too about how the person does the school stuff.
Yeah.
And you were just like, you know what? I'm just gonna stay away from that. Like, I'm not gonna. My brothers have some saying like, cut my back lawn or something. I don't know, but what?
Yeah.
Mainly they're talking about girls, but yeah, I love that you're like, hey, you're doing the school, so you're doing that thing, so I'll just go somewhere else and branch off. So as well, I would like you to tell people, only because I laughed when she told me, who is your sales rep or.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna watch this and be like, you did not.
No, I'm sorry, but it was when she told me, I was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, yeah.
It's okay. Everybody that he knows is probably gonna see this, but yes, Tyler, my husband, is my outside sales rep. He is Mr. Creative, and he reaches out to the businesses and all his friends, and promoting. And
you know what? I love too that you have a partner that's so supportive of you.
Honestly, Kayla, I can get emotional thinking about it, but like he just, everything from turning on the Cricut when I was hesitant about that, he's like, do it. When I wanted to create the Facebook page, he's like, do it. When we moved into sublimation and I started doing the mugs and cups, I was like terrified. I'm like, I'm not going to be very good at this. Like, it's really hard process. And he's like, no, you can do it. Like, sit down. We'll figure this out. And he watched video on YouTube of tutorials on how to do this, and he would like relay back to me, and he's like, try this, do this, and he like did a whole bunch of research. Like, while I was doing research, like he was off doing his own and trying to figure it out for me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's he's like I can put him on a pedestal for this business, because like really, like, he's the driving force behind it, because he's never let me once think that I couldn't do it. And it's so funny because I finally saved up enough to get into the DTF, the direct to film, which is, not a very cheap investment. So I finally got there and I was so excited about it. And I was so scared. And the printer sat on my floor in the box, just probably as long as my Cricut did, before I was like, you know what, I saved up and got this. Like, I need to plug it in and do something with it. So he one day just took it out of the box, set it up, filled the ink, got it all set up. He's like, all right, sit down and do it. And I was like, I don't know if I can. He's like, absolutely you can. So like, every bit of confidence I have comes from him.
Okay, so ladies that are watching this, I hope that you're taking notes, because you need to get a Tyler and get rid of the Dusties, because this is proof that there is a guy out there that will be like this for you.
Yes.
So I maybe need to follow this advice as well, but there is definitely someone out there like that's like so hopeful too. So that gives you hope that there is, if you don't settle, this is like what you could have, and that's so awesome.
Yeah, he's my best friend. He's
no,
he is like my best friend, my partner, everything. Like, when we said we were gonna do this, we like both of us dove in head first and took it on. And
It's like a true partnership.
yeah, like it really is. And everybody's like, oh, don't do business with family. And I'm like, I couldn't have done it without mine. So.
Yeah, I know, because sometimes it does get like, anyway,
Chaotic,
whatever, chaotic, whatever. But at the end of the day, yeah, because like I mentioned to you, mine's actually really supportive of this as well, even though it's a hobby. But it's just very touching because it makes it a little bit easier just to know that you've got like your village around you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're at 30 minutes, but I still have 2 questions I do ask all my guests. So my first question is, what is the kindest thing that anybody's ever done for you?
Oh my gosh. Probably I can't even like pick one thing because there's so many people that go above and beyond supporting my business with sharing and tagging me and commenting on everything, trying to boost the posts and stuff. But like, I think just that my customers, like the kindest thing that they ever do for me is push me out there and get me out there and get my name out there and bring me the business. Like I'm most appreciative of that. So I'd have to say that.
Probably in part because you're so humble. I don't think you like, you're just like so low key. I just love the attitude that you have surrounding it, because it's just like, this is great. Because you're like, well, yeah, I do okay. I do okay. Like,
I really don't like to brag.
I know, but it's like, again, when I was looking like, oh, this girl's actually like quite popular, like she's like doing quite well, and you're like, yeah.
I try not to look at it too much because then like it becomes like an obsession. Like, oh, I need more followers.
Yes, I know, but it's just like you said, how people tag you and just everything that you moved into, and obviously you wouldn't be able to like move forward with stuff if you weren't doing well. So that's why it's like,
you sound like Tyler now.
Well, no, this is me being sincere, but you do seem like a very kind person. So take note again, people. This is just like a personal belief, but I believe like a lot of time what you put out in the world is what is going to come back to you. So I do think you're a very kind and humble person. So I think that does help you in your business, because it's always going to come back to you tenfold. So I just can see great things in the...
Well, I'm going to make a bee reference here, but you can always catch more flies with honey.
Oh! And then my other question I always ask is, what is the kindest thing that you've ever done for anybody?
Oh, well, now you're really putting me on this spot. Talking about being humble.
But you know what? I had to start saying this because people would be like, and it's like, honestly, I don't measure kindness and like how big the thing is. It could be like literally anything. So honestly, there's no pressure, but I just like to hear what people think is the kindest thing that they've ever done for anybody.
Honestly, I think the biggest thing that was like a feel good in my heart, and I felt really, really good about it.
I love these words. I love these words. Okay.
It has to be the Truth and Reconciliation shirts, and giving that voice to people who, you know, for so long didn't have one.
Yes.
And being able to share on my social media and get out to my followers like their story, their art, and you know, these are who these people are. Like this is what they do, and I was able to do that for them. And you know, it was so great because I was seeing their names everywhere, like not just from my followers, but like people were saying, hey, like, did you see this girl's art? Like, she's a really good artist.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what I want.
Yeah. And also, I'll brag you up because you don't like to say too much, but it's also really awesome too, like very kind of you that you took all the proceeds and you donate them to the Friendship Center. Like, I don't know how to say that in words, so I'm not even going to try, but that's also very kind. So I'm really, really proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So thank you so much for being on. This is like, honestly, I loved it so much, and I hope everybody else at home picked up about how much I love this.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me and for the opportunity.
So after this, everybody go to Be Creative with all your needs that are DTF, sublimation,
mugs,
t-shirts, sweaters. If you have a vision, just go to her and she'll get it done for you. So just remember how amazing you are and how wonderful you are, and stay kind.